Hello and welcome to Bedtime Story with Miss Anna. Are you ready to go to sleep? Kiss your mommy, kiss your daddy. It's time for story time. Tonight, we're starting with this amazing book. It's called Good Night, My Duckling by Nancy Tafuri. Early one evening, time for bed, my ducklings. Good night, little duckling. Sleep tight, little duckling. See you in the morning, little duckling. Hurry home, little duckling. Oh. Are you lost, little duckling? There you are, my duckling. Sweet dreams, little duckling. I love you, my duckling. Good night. Such a nice good night book. Good night, my duckling. I have one more story for you tonight. This book is called A Bedtime for Bear by Bonnie Becker. One evening, Bear heard a tapping on his front door. When he opened the door, there stood Mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. He clasped a tiny suitcase in his paw. "I am here to spend the night," exclaimed Mouse with a happy wiggle on his whistle. "Surely we agree on next Tuesday," protested Bear. "No," said Mouse. "You must definitely say tonight." "Oh," said Bear. Bear had never had an overnight guest before. Guests could quiet possibly mess things up and make noise, and Bear needed quiet, absolutely quiet at bedtime. Even so, Bear and Mouse enjoyed an evening of shakers and warm cocoa, and soon it was time for bed. "Remember, I must have absolute quiet," reminded Bear. "Oh, indeed," said Mouse. Bear set out his glass of water, adjusted his nightcap, and climbed into bed. It was very, very quiet. He closed his eyes. Free, 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 free! Bear heard a noise. It was Mouse brushing his teeth. Bear cleared his throat in a reminding sort of a way. "Sorry," said Mouse. Bear closed his eyes again. Mouse hummed while he put on his nice shirt. "Papoom!" "Absolute quiet," muttered Bear most impatiently. "Deep apologies," said Mouse. "Creak, creak, creak!" rattled when Mouse bed as he hopped in. Bear jammed his pillow over his ear, gritted his teeth, and closed his eyes. He was just about to drift off when— "Good night, Bear," said Mouse softly. Bear tried to pretend he was asleep. "Good night," Mouse called a little louder. "My ears are highly sensitive," cried Bear. "Really? How interesting," Mouse said. "Can you hear this?" Mouse mumbled into his pillow. "Yes!" "Amazing! How about this?" Mouse said from under his pillow. "Quiet!" Mouse slipped under his blanket, crawled to the bottom of his bed, and whispered, "Can you hear this?" "Silence!" Bear roared. Mouse slid from his bed, went into the closet, and said in the tiniest possible voice into the farthest, darkest, tiniest possible corner of the closet, "Surely you can." "Will this stormer never cease?" wailed Bear. "Sorry, Bear. Good night, Bear," whispered Mouse, tiptoeing back into bed as quiet as, well, you know. Bear fluffed his favorite pillow, adjusted his nice cat, and waited, but there was no more sound from Mouse. At last it was quiet, very, very quiet. Bear heard a shuffling sound. Mouse, is that you? No answer. Bear heard a creak, 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 creak on the floorboard. I know it's you. No answer. You can't fool me, Bear growled, but he didn't sound. Bear heard a low moaning noise. Mouse? Silence! Bear was sure that something roasted on the floor. Mouse! He cried. Wake up! Mouse stumbled out of bed, a small and gray and sleepy eye. What is it? But Bear couldn't see any rustly morning sort of thing in his room. His room looked quiet like it was always looking. Nothing! Like Bear, still clutching his blanket to his chin. I must have been talking in my sleep. Bear shocked, but it was rather quavery. Ah, said Mouse with a glance, Bear. Could I peek under your bed? Asked Mouse. Sometimes I like to check for things. Well, if you insist, say Bear. Nothing, say Mouse from under the bed. You want to check behind the curtains, I suppose? Bear say. All clear, declared Mouse a moment later. You'll better check the closet, offered Bear. Then you won't be the least bit nervous. Mouse came out of the closet, dusting his paws. Not a thing. Thank you, Bear. Good night. Wait, said Bear. You want a bedtime story? I expect, said Bear. For you, nurse. For my nurse, said Mouse. Oh, indeed. I am quite shaken. Then, with an eager flick on his tail, he settled on Bear's favorite pillow, and Bear told him all about the adventure of the brave, strong bear and the very frightened little mouse. Soon Bear began to yawn. Mouse yawned too. Good night, Bear. Good night, said Mouse. Good night, Mouse, Bear mumbled. Then Bear began to snore loudly. But Mouse just smiled. And soon Mouse and Bear were fast asleep. If you like the bedtime story for tonight, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell. Good night, good night, good night.